You can't tell it, but inside this box is a new bale spear for my skid steer. So now this set of bale forks here, or bale spears, whatever you want to call them, this is ones that we've had for a while, and as you can see, the forks have gotten beat up pretty bad. And realistically, it's actually just kind of a bad design for how we have our hay stacked. You'll see why towards the end of the video. And don't pay attention so much to the boxing because it actually wasn't like that when it showed up. Unfortunately, we had about 2.5 inches of rain yesterday, and the FedEx guy did drop it off, but where it was at on our porch, it still got wet, and it kind of ruined the box. That seems very simple. Very simple concept. So inside the box, the main frame there, and then obviously our actual bale spear, and then the two stabilizer forks. So on the stabilizer forks, which are just short, makes it where your bale can't spin once it's on the spear since it's only one spear. So right there you can see these are the bolts that are going to hold this in place. I don't know if they go through this hole yet. I think what they do is they just sit right here on this little indent. We'll get a tool for this a little bit because I can't get the right angle. There we go. That in there. We're going to put this just like that. All right, we got everything undone right there. We're just going to take this nut off of here, put the bale spear through the larger hole there, and then we'll tighten this nut behind it. Pretty simple process. We're going to slide this right through here. Make sure you're putting it facing the correct direction. I guess we ought to point that out. All right, from start to finish, literally took about 7 minutes to put it together. Probably took me longer to find something to actually tighten that nut with. Like I said, I thought I had a socket that big, but apparently I don't. That's bigger than 1.5 inches. And yeah, but nothing you can't do with like a pair of channel locks or a pipe wrench, whatever you happen to have. Let's get it hooked up to the skid steer and go use it. All right, so this hay bale is a prime example of why my forks get bent so often. Usually I can't hit them straight on, just like this bale. I'm coming at an angle. So like here, I'll just turn it like that, drive in, lift it up. I love the fact that it works exactly like I was expecting it to. And to be honest, the price point was pretty good too. So to buy a new spear, or actually two new spears, because I know it doesn't look like it, but both of those are bent. One's bent down, the other one's bent up. And it's just kind of how it is. And I tried to straighten them out, and it's just not working out for me. But could I have just replaced those two bale spears? Yeah, I could have. But the thing is that for $216 is what I think I paid for that. It's not any cheaper to just replace them, because at our local farm store, it's anywhere from, depending on which spears you buy, they're all pretty much the same. They're all made in China, doesn't matter. But they range from $89 each for the ones that are good for like 1,600 pounds, all the way up to $210 for the 4,000 pound ones. And honestly, I usually go with the 3,000 pound ones because it's 6,000 pounds between the two of them. That's really all I'm gonna ever lift with the skid steer anyways. But even those, I wanna say they were like $160 each, something like that. So it ended up being cheaper for me just to buy that than it did for 2 spears. Secondly, it's actually going to prevent me from making this mistake twice, because I am gonna replace those. But for hay work, I will only use that one. And then for anything where I gotta lift a pallet or something of that nature, then I will use this one. But I will say that Vevor one, it worked great. I'll put a link down in the description. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Fits the glad hands of the skid steer well too. Sometimes I have that issue with other attachments. Like I didn't have it with this attachment. Obviously I haven't had it with this Vevor attachment, but the PTO 3-point conversion that you saw I had on in the shop, I did have it with that issue, with that conversion, or with that plate that's on there. The glad hands don't quite fit like they should. But overall, the Vevor one, it's working. It does what it's supposed to. I'm pretty happy with it. And it took literally like 5 to 7 minutes to put it together. Probably would have took less if I had all the tools out. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a blessed week.